Right now on Midday, a mass shooting at an apartment complex in University City ends with 2 people dead and 6 others in the hospital.
We have the latest on that shooting and the background of the suspected gunman.
Also, we talked to one witness who survived the shooting as victims fight for their lives. 10 News Midday starts right now.
10 News begins with breaking news.
So we're going to show you what some of the people who were there when it happened are talking about, the terrifying moments when a gunman shot and killed some of the people there who were friends. More on the account of one of the witnesses here in just a moment. I'm Virginia Cha.
I'm Jason Martinez. That victim was one of 7 who were shot by a man who lived at the La Jolla apartment complex. Here's what we know at the moment. The shooting happened at a pool party just before 6 last night. Peter Seles has been identified as the suspected gunman. Police say they shot and killed him after he fired at officers. Right now, 6 victims are in the hospital with injuries. Police are holding a press conference in about 25 minutes from now where we'll get more information on who this shooter was and how the victims are doing. We'll have that live, so stay with us here on Midday.
We're going to continue with our complete team coverage. We're going to start here with 10 News reporter Mary McKenzie, who's live outside Scripps La Jolla, where doctors are treating some of those victims. Mary?
We talked to one of the witnesses, Demetrius Griffin, first by phone this morning, and then he came down to talk to us on camera and to walk us through the events of last night. A moment, he says, that has changed his life forever. He says he woke up in a panic this morning. He actually ran outside thinking that he was still out by the pool with his friends as he was last night. He was recounting the moments for us of sheer terror. His hands were shaking. He wasn't even supposed to be there last night. He changed his flight at the last minute in order to be there for a birthday party for a man he says looked after him like a father. The first victim, he was the one whose birthday they were celebrating. He is here at the hospital now. He talked to the gunman, and moments after their exchange, Peter Seles, that is, pulled a gun and shot him at point-blank range. The moments after that were chaotic as people ran for cover, Seles emptying one clip and then another.
After he opened fire on Key and he was shot twice, everyone kind of froze. There was the wanting and the urge for this not to be real.
There were kids in the pool, an innocent party, innocent lives changed in just minutes. One woman is dead now. There are other victims here fighting for their lives this morning. Police, Griffin says, seemed to take forever, he said, to respond. But once they did, he said they were racing to help the victims, 7 of them in all. At some point amidst the chaos, Seles, of course, as we know, fired at police who then shot and killed him. Police, we want to mention, have not suggested a motive, but as you talked about, there will be a press conference coming up in moments. Demetrius tells us he is here now at the hospital checking on his friend Key. He's apparently out of surgery and is expected to survive. We're live in La Jolla. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Mary, thank you. And we're learning more about Seles, the gunman's background. He appeared to be struggling financially.
10 News reporter Mimi Alcala joining us now from the scene of the shooting. Mimi, what is happening there?
Virginia, Jason, Seles actually lived here at the La Jolla Crossroads apartment complex where this all happened. And if you look behind this gate, this is where he carried out his shooting spree, right behind one of those umbrellas. And despite living in this luxury complex, bankruptcy filings show that he did have some major financial problems. Now, he filed for bankruptcy back in 2015, and the documents reveal that he owed thousands of dollars to several local medical centers and a number of credit card companies, racking up more than $100,000 in debt. Now, according to court documents, Seles also separated from his wife years ago, and he was a father. Seles' bankruptcy attorney confirmed that's him in a photo still up on Mossy Ford's website under the staff section. Documents show he worked there for more than 5 years as a service tech, but Mossy Ford's management wouldn't comment other than saying their thoughts and prayers are with the victims. One apartment resident I spoke with says she saw the shooter just sitting there but didn't recognize him as one of her neighbors. And then she describes how terrifying the moments were as she, her husband, and children watched the chaos unfold from their apartment.
It was terrible. People were screaming, and then I just heard the police come and gunshots.
So right now, cleanup crews are actually here taking care of the area. And actually, one of the men who cleans this pool regularly told us it's usually filled with laughter and people just hanging out around here, especially on a sunny day like this. He described it today as eerily quiet. We are live in La Jolla. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. The shooting happened in just a matter of minutes. 10 News reporter Adam Rakusin now spells out exactly how all this played out.
People down, 9045 Judicial. The suspect is reloading his gun in the pool area.
I'm Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin. As police are tracking the shooter, we're tracking them and the timeline of events from when the calls came in to when it ended. It was just a matter of minutes.
Sounds like an active shooter.
According to police radio calls that we could track down, the first call came in just after 6 in the evening.
People are screaming.
The police helicopter first to the scene, talking to officers on the ground. Within minutes, police were at the complex setting up a perimeter. There's talk of an active shooter, where he's aiming, and that he's shooting people. Eventually, police find him, and 10 minutes after the call came in that we could hear, someone over the radio can be heard saying this: "Suspects down." They refer to the situation as a mass casualty.
3 people down in a grass area.
Adam Rakusin, Team 10.
And we're going to be hearing from San Diego police in the next 15 minutes. We'll bring that to you, news conference live here on 10 News Midday, which you can also watch live on our 10 News app.
And Jason, I am following breaking news here in the 10 News Live Center. At least one firefighter shot in East Dallas. This is a live stream here from our affiliate in Dallas, and I do believe we have live pictures. Here it is. Again, this is in Dallas, where a gunman apparently opened fire on paramedics. Right now, they are still searching for the shooter. We do know the firefighter is in surgery, his condition unknown, but city officials are also saying here that an ambulance was hit by bullets as well. The Dallas Police Association tweeted that officers were also pinned down by this gunfire, an active situation going on right now. At this point, it's unclear if firefighters were on a call when all of this happened. But again, this is breaking news, something I will continue to follow here in the 10 News Live Center. But Virginia, for now, we know a firefighter has been shot in Dallas.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Thank you, Mel, for tracking that. Meanwhile, this is a developing story. San Onofre State Beach, where a woman was attacked by a shark, will now stay closed until at least Wednesday morning. There was some thought that they might be able to open today, but that's not going to happen. A GoFundMe page identifies the woman as Leanne Erickson, mother of 3. That page has raised more than $16,000 for her recovery. The post says the shark tore through the back of her thigh Saturday. It also says she nearly drowned when that shark pulled her under. And it also says that she is now, quote, fighting for her life in the hospital. Experts say it was likely a great white or a 7-gill shark. If you would like to donate to help Leanne recover, you can find a link on our website, 10news.com. Just click on that red TV button. Happening right now, sentencing for the local author who admitted to posing as a doctor and treating terminally ill patients. Robert Young pleaded guilty to practicing medicine without a license. Now, Young, who wrote the PH Miracle book series, treated patients at his avocado ranch in Valley Center. That's where prosecutors say he gave some of his patients alternative treatments, including injecting them with baking soda.
Right now, it's May Day, and hundreds of thousands of activists are holding marches and rallies across the country, including right here in San Diego. Some people will protest by not going to work or school. At San Diego City College, they're offering a teach-in instead of normal class. English professor Kelly Mayhew says that there's been an increased interest about worker and immigrant rights since the election last November.
I believe that education happens inside and outside the classroom, and that some of our most important educational opportunities are things that are happening in real time in the world around us.
San Diego City College is not canceling classes today, but has left it up to professors to decide. There will be workers' march and rally a little bit later today. That starts at the Federal Building at 3 this afternoon and makes its way down to Chicano Park by 4. New today, President Trump is declaring his first 100 days a success with a new TV ad that you see right here. It pushes back on criticism that his presidency has gotten off to a sluggish start. The ad highlights the confirmation of Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court, tax cut proposals, and rolling back trade regulations.
You wouldn't know it from watching the news. America is winning, and President Trump is making America great again.
The $1.5 million ad was paid for by his re-election campaign. He signed the paperwork for the campaign the day he was sworn in.
New today, firefighters are still battling 3 brush fires in Southern California. The Opera Fire in Riverside County is threatening buildings and a radio tower. Firefighters now have containment at 60% though, so that's up quite a bit since this morning. It has burned more than 1,300 acres not far from UC Riverside. Meanwhile, the Jameson Fire is basically contained in Riverside County at this point. It burned 15 acres. And the third fire, the Tower Fire, is still burning in San Bernardino. It's holding at 200 acres, containment 50%.